We're not king
Toes get you
shamers.
off. Toes get you off.
Welcome to the Poor Decisions podcast. I'm your host, Jade. And today we are talking with Shaquille.
Yo.
So, did you grow up sheltered? Did you grow up with religious trauma? Well, Shaquille did. So we're going to be discussing that today.
I'm excited.
Are you?
No.
The wine we're drinking is the 7 Deadly Zins,
Nice,
Zinfandel.
nice.
So let's give it a whirl. That's sweeter than I thought. But Shaquille,
Hello.
how does it feel to be a sinner? No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say it feels good.
Does it?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you want to give us like a little backstory? You don't have to go too in depth, but like a little backstory on growing up sheltered and how it affected your dating life?
So growing up as a Jehovah's Witness was a pretty weird experience. At the same time, growing up with like parents that are like Caribbean, it's just like layers upon layers of like protectiveness. So for the most part, like growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, you're basically told like not to associate with anyone. And then on top of that, it's like a part of that when you're also Caribbean, you don't really know much about like Southern culture. So it was a pretty isolating experience because you hear like all these like new like terminologies and slang and whatnot. It's just like perpetual confusion in my experience.
So I'm super curious. So what was like your first crush? Was it like someone who was in your religion or was it someone outside? And how did that like go for you?
So surprisingly enough, like most people wouldn't get this now, but like growing up, like I was a pretty shy person. And so I did have crushes when within the Jehovah's Witness organization, as well as like outside of that. And so for the most part, it was mostly just like me not really doing anything about it. Just like this intense 11-year-old yearning for them, but not really just doing anything, just saying like, oh, hey, I like you. But like if they did know that I had a crush on them, they'd just be like, ugh. So that's for the most part is like my experiences like growing up though.
So what was your biggest culture shock when you started dating, like outside of the religion?
So I know for me, like my first girlfriend, she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness at all. But for me, like the first cultural shock was that this is gonna sound crazy as fuck, but so the way that my mom raised me, it was essentially just like putting women on a pedestal. And so it was more so just like seeing women in like a more like humanistic way, more like their flaws and everything else. And so that was more so of the culture shock that I experienced the most was just like seeing women as like themselves instead of just like on the pedestal, if that makes sense.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So what was like the thing that made it like, oh, you're really just a person?
Yeah. I think it was just for me it was more so just let me think about this.
You're good. Take your time. And also, Jomar, if you want any more alcohol, feel free.
But yeah, I guess with that relationship though, what really was shocking about it, especially like with her, with that ex in particular, was that I was seeing her flaws as a person. And so it was seeing her insecurities like manifest in different ways. And so at this time, I think I was like 19, 20, around that age range. And so I was like pretty much new to everything. Like she was like my first kiss. She took my virginity, all that type of stuff. And so for me, like I was just like new to everything with her. But like she like had like experience, like she's been with like people before in the past. And so I was basically not knowing what I was doing. But then like we'd have like arguments and she would like accuse me of like cheating and stuff. And she would like go through my phone and just see like I wasn't doing anything. And I'm just like, why would I cheat on you? Like we're dating. Like that doesn't make any sense. So for me, just like having that experience of just like having to deal with like someone's like possessiveness and like their insecurities made me go like, huh, maybe not everything's my fault. So
Yeah. Do you feel like there was a lot of moments where that you can relate to childhood that bled into your relationships, like the possessiveness maybe that was kind of stemming from childhood, or
Um, yeah, like that's actually something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. So, like, I go to therapy,
oh yeah.
and like one thing that I realized is that, especially like with like the relationships I've had like in the past before, is that like a lot of it's just like manifestation of like unhealed trauma.
Mm.
And so, like for example, like this need to be seen, or like this want to have like my feelings validated and just recognize, like that came from like unresolved like childhood trauma, which is like has been resolved, constantly working on. And so I'm at a point where like I don't feel the need to like have that validation from people,
Mm.
because I know that like I'm fairly secure within myself, to where like I can come into relationships and just be like, okay, this is who I am as a person, this is what I'm looking for. Are you like, how do you feel about that? And then
Mm.
like if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. But at the same time, one thing that like I noticed that comes from that is that I don't really feel nervous when I go on dates anymore, because I guess in a way like I know what I'm looking for, and at the same time I also realize that I'm not gonna feel bad about being myself on a date.
Heck yeah. No, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I love that. What brought you to that moment? Like, what did you do that really helped you to be more confident in yourself and not nervous on dates?
I think so. My therapist, amazing man. He We really went through a lot of work with like inner like IFS therapy styles, and so with that, it was mostly just addressing like the root of like the childhood trauma of that experience, from like being sheltered, and then just like the religious trauma as well. And so addressing the root of that issue really helped with just having like moving past those traumatic experiences in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, one thing that I've always had like an issue with was like emotional regulation, and so my therapist he recommended me one book, but like there's like another book that really helped me, was like called "Set Boundaries, Find Peace" by Nendra. I think it's Nendra Tawwab. Either way, like reading that book taught me how to like emotionally regulate properly, taught me how to like set boundaries and be firm with those boundaries, and just like find peace with like saying yes to myself and no to others. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, like that just really helped me with like being more confident in myself when I'm showing up for dates.
I'll definitely have to read that book for sure. We should have a little book club.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to being a little more
Okay.
unholy. What was your most unholy dating experience?
Oh man, that is so. So this happened earlier this year, and yeah, I think I told you about it before, but essentially I met this lady off of Hinge. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is what actually inspired me to make the podcast. But yes, continue.
Okay, so I met this lady off of Hinge, and funnily enough, like I came across her profile like just like I forgot when it happened, but it was like maybe like a Thursday night or so. And so like I'm just swiping, just had 30 minutes to kill. I see her, I'm like, wow, she's pretty. Uh Let me try to say something to her that would like captivate her. And so I put down my phone, and then like when I reopened the app, like her profile disappeared. And I was just like, no, why? And so like I spent like maybe like the next 30 minutes trying to find her profile again.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't find it. So I think this was actually a Friday, because like I remember like it was a Saturday that I spent like I spent 3 hours searching for a profile on Hinge, which is a bit
It happens.
embarrassing. Yeah.
It happens.
But I found her profile, and like I was looking through it, and I saw that there was like a bit of like a sadness in her face,
Mm.
which for some reason like I found attractive. I don't know why. But so like I sent her like this message. I forgot what I said, but it was like something that was like I felt like was genuine. And like on Hinge, like you send people a rose, and it's like shows up like to the top or whatever. So I sent her that. Didn't get a response in like a day or so, so I just like moved on. So I finally got a response from her like 3 weeks afterwards, and like we just started chatting, like chopping it up. And so about a month later, she went to come like see me, like visit me. So the first time we met was actually at my house, and it was actually accidental because I misread her message, and I thought that I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but like I sent her my address and I thought that like we were gonna meet like on the weekend or something. But then after like I reread it, it dawned on me that, oh, she's coming over like right now. And I was just like, oh, okay. So she pulls up, and like basically we like exchange like pleasantries and stuff. And so and like I'm just like chatting with her, just like being casual. I realized that like she gets like really touchy feely with me, and like I'm talking like hand on thigh, like caressing my back, and I'm just like, whoa, lady, like this is like our first time meeting. And so like I didn't really say anything because I was just like, okay, like let me just like sit back and observe how she is as a person. And I forgot how most of that night went, but like I know, like I felt pretty uncomfortable that night.
Mm.
And then, like when she was leaving, she, like when she was leaving, like she wanted, like how explicit can we get?
I mean, as explicit as you want to get.
Okay.
It's totally up to you.
Okay. So when I remember like we were in my driveway and like she was in her car about to leave, and she was like, "Let me see it," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Let me see it." I was like, "Right now." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, we're in my driveway," and she was like, "Okay." I was like, I'd be like, "We could like take 10 steps into my house to do that," and she's like, "Nah, like I want to see it right now," and I'm just like, "What?" And then like before like, and then like she starts like trying to like pull like my joggers down,
What?
yeah, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" That was a weird experience.
That's actually kind of not cool at
Yeah.
all. Have you met up with her since?
I haven't spoken with her in like about a couple months now.
Yeah, it's crazy because you were so like enamored at first, and she turned
Yeah.
out to be kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, but she's not the first weirdo that I met off of Hinge, so.
Oh, do you find a lot of weirdos on Hinge?
So far I have.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's like I would think that especially like since like I see like on like the profiles like people like a lot of the women that are on there they're just like no weirdos, like
They say no weirdos,
pretty
and
much.
they're weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's pretty wild out there.
I've been on Bumble, and I've met weirdos on Bumble
Mm.
for sure. And I feel like everyone that I've met on a dating app is or they're trying to get over someone.
Yeah.
That's why they're there. And so I've never met someone that's just like, I don't have trauma from my ex. You know? Like
Yeah.
everyone that I've met is so just trying to like get over their ex, and they never do.
I get it, because like especially like with me and my ex, like we've dated for like 4 years, and it's like it's hard to like get over someone, like, especially who's been like integrated into your life like that. But it's possible.
Yeah.
But like I understand the sentiments though.
Do you think a dating app could fix that though?
I think, well, I guess it really just depends on the person, because for me, I use it as a way of like meeting people. But at the same time, like after like those series of like unfortunate events with those women that I've like ran into, I got to a point where I was just like, yeah, let me just like focus on myself. So like
Go off.
I just like deleted Hinge and just like decided to just focus on myself and just better myself.
Heck yeah. I love that though. You're awesome,
Appreciate that.
Shaquille.
Thank you.
So thank you for letting us know that Hinge is a place where you find weirdos. We're gonna go ahead and read some of y'all's confessions. The online confession box. So you can read the first one.
Alrighty. When I was in high school, my girlfriend's strict mom tracked her location through her phone. We tell her mom we were going to church and then hook up in my car behind the church several times a week. I can actually relate to that.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what?
So, it was, so I'm not gonna like be more specific, but like I do know that was one of the people I was like romantic with. We did hook up a lot in public places because of like how strict their parents were. So
But it wasn't like behind the church or anything.
I'm not gonna say that.
All right. I get you. This next one was cheating on my ex with her friend. And one day we were all hanging out. Then her friend went to go look for her phone. So then me and her went to her dorm, smashed, then came back like nothing happened. We were gone for maybe 30 minutes at most. Very shameful behavior.
Wow.
Would you say this is a sinner?
That's very much a sinner.
That's quite sinful.
Let's see. I can't get off unless I think of toes. Okay. My girlfriend hates this, but I legit have not found any workarounds to this. Wow, today was a great day to know how to read.
I've actually heard that there is, I could be botching this completely, but I've heard that your pleasure center in your brain is very close to like the sensation of your feet. And sometimes those two are intertwined. And that's why there's a lot of people with foot fetishes.
I've heard of that before, and I can't get behind it.
I mean, they can't help it, I guess, if it's like intertwined in their brain.
I mean, I'm not gonna kink shame, so
Yeah, word.
if
We're not
toes
kink
get you
shamers.
off, toes get you off.
That's
Neither.
crazy. All right, next confession. I love phone sex and can't get enough of it. But one theme I can't stop thinking about is slavery. Like having her as my slave. Is that bad? Question mark, question mark, question mark. No, you don't think so, Jomar?
What?
Like,
So stupid.
like what kinds of slavery?
I
That's like
don't
what
know.
I'm thinking of.
I wish
Doesn't matter.
I wish I knew who this was so I can be like, please expand on it.
Like, tell me your thoughts. Okay.
Last one.
Why does everyone dog on furries so much? I can't tell if I'm low-key into it, but the public disdain for furries is like stopping me from becoming one. Even though I kind of want to see what the lifestyle is about and it's no one else's business. I mean, hey, if you're into furries, like, go off. My whole philosophy is like, if it's not hurting you or anyone else, I don't see an issue with it.
I agree with that completely.
So if you're like a Pokemon furry, Sonic the Hedgehog furry, go for it.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog furry is, that's crazy.
There are communities for that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty nifty. Wow. Well, these were some great confessions. Thank y'all for literally oh, there's one more.
Oh,
This one's a book, and I think I know who put this one in.
okay.
One time, I was kicking it with this chick for a minute, and then this crazy snowstorm hit out of nowhere. She calls me up and asks me to come pick her up. Says she's gonna do my hair and cook for me. I tell her my homeboy's with me, so we'll ride to scoop her up. We make it to her house with no problem, but as soon as we head back towards my place, all hell breaks loose. I start sliding all over the road. The same road we just came down gets shut down by the cops, and they make us turn into a neighborhood. Now, this neighborhood has a steep hill, and it's chaos. Cars are sliding everywhere, people losing control left and right. Somehow, I managed to slide into a perfect parallel park between
Hell yeah.
two cars, and then we're stuck.
Oh.
It gets worse.
Oh.
I start having an asthma attack. Do you know who this is, Jomar? Okay. And I don't have my inhaler.
Oh no.
I'm gonna cut this out, but it's
Damn, bro.
We're about 3 miles from my house. It's still snowing. It's 11 p.m. and freezing cold. So we start walking, the only way to get home. At this point, I have one mission: to get my inhaler. The whole walk, this chick is driving me crazy, walking slow, asking me to carry her, and I'm like, girl, I can't even breathe. We finally make it to my house. I grab my inhaler, and then I find out she didn't even bring food. We carried this big ass bag of clothes, not groceries. So we went through all that for nothing. All I had left at my house was some jungle juice, Everclear, tequila, and a few Jello shots from a party the weekend before. We decided to walk to Kroger, about half a mile away, only to find it closed. So we ended up stealing chips out of the bins outside the gas station. Then we walked back home, got drunk as hell, and called it a night.
That's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
I wonder if this was like during like the snowpocalypse.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
That was like 2018?
I think so. Like 2014 or so.
Oh, was it 2014?
I think so. It was
Dang.
like, yeah.
It's happened a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Well, this was fun. Thank you for being my first guest.
Absolutely.
This was so cool. Any words of wisdom from Shaquille himself?
I'd say definitely understand your boundaries and set them, because once like you know like what your boundaries are, you're better able to like move forward in life with just loving yourself, having better relationships, because that one takeaway that I get from that book is when you say no to others, you're saying yes to yourself. And that's like, that meant a lot to me.
That's awesome, Shaquille. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And thank y'all for tuning in to Poor Decisions. Until next time, cheers. I need more wine.